It's common knowledge that most millionaires achieved their wealth through consistent investments in unexciting index funds, such as the US stock market or the S&P 500. However, the drawback of this approach is the significant time it takes. While it does work, the typical age at which individuals reach millionaire status is around 60. But what if your goal is to retire at the age of 40? If you're aiming for retirement in just 5 years, this video holds the key information you need. Now, the very first step in retiring early is to define precisely what you desire. Do you want to retire completely, ceasing all income-generating activities? Or do you envision continuing to work in a more fulfilling capacity, perhaps with a nonprofit or church, even if it means earning less? What kind of lifestyle do you picture for your retirement? Will your daily living expenses remain the same as they are now? Do you dream of traveling? Having a clear understanding of these factors is crucial because without them, it's akin to signing up for a race without knowing the race's distance. Consider it as getting ready for a short hike and discovering it's actually a lengthy trek. You might wear yourself out too quickly. This applies to planning for retirement as well. So, it's essential to calculate your actual financial needs. The best way is to estimate your yearly expenses during retirement and then multiply that figure by 25. This should encompass items like rent or mortgage, insurance, vehicle costs, groceries, bills, and lifestyle expenses like travel or experiences. Let's say you expect around $5,000 per month, which amounts to $60,000 annually. Therefore, multiplying $60,000 by 25 gives you $1.5 million. Don't worry about the multiplication by 25, as it doesn't mean your funds will only last for 25 years. It's based on the 4% rule, allowing you to safely withdraw 4% of your investments each year to maintain your lifestyle indefinitely. Clearly, $1.5 million is a substantial sum, and accumulating it quickly can be challenging. One way to retire earlier is to reduce living expenses during retirement. Many people achieve this by relocating to more affordable areas, such as Portugal or Puerto Rico. Paying off your mortgage or eliminating major expenses can also significantly reduce your living costs in retirement. For instance, if you only require $2,000 per month, that's $24,000 annually, or just $600,000 needed for retirement. Some of us may never truly retire in the traditional sense. We don't aim to seize all responsibilities and idle away on a beach. We want the flexibility to choose when, where, and how we work, free from dependence on a single income source. This allows us to focus on what truly matters to us, like helping others in some capacity. If you've considered what you want and lean towards a hybrid approach, where you work part-time or at a reduced wage, it's vital to factor this in. If your monthly income drops from $5,000 to $3,000, you'll only need to supplement the remaining $2,000, requiring just $600,000 invested, as previously discussed. With an end goal number in mind, the next question is how to reach it more quickly. There are 3 ways to consider. First, let's begin with the idea of achieving financial success. And remember, this is meant to be a mix of humor and seriousness. It's widely known that some people have turned their $1,000 investments in things like the lottery or penny stocks in a whopping $500,000 overnight. It might sound like a wild dream, but it's the starting point for our journey. Dabbling a bit in riskier, yet potentially more lucrative investments is the first step toward reaching our goal. However, Always do your due diligence before taking any chances. Look for investments that don't follow the traditional mold, but make sense in their own way. That's why we've set aside a small part of our portfolio for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Moving on to the second step. Consider investments that won't instantly take you to your target amount but will steadily pave the way by generating income in the long run. Think about investing in rental property, for instance. It might feel like you're moving in the opposite direction for now since you need to allocate some of your savings into this investment. However, the thought of turning $100,000 into a $500,000 asset is pretty powerful. The longer you hold onto the property, the more you'll make each month, and the bigger your equity will become. Down the road, you might even consider selling the house and investing the proceeds. Owning a rental property comes with tax advantages, which can boost your after-tax monthly income and reduce your monthly expenses. For option 3, this is for those who'd rather not take the risks of options 1 or 2 or don't want to become landlords, managing the challenges of renting properties to expedite their retirement savings. Surprisingly, this is perhaps the most practical choice of all, but it requires tremendous self-discipline and unwavering commitment. If you aim to retire in 5 years, be prepared to make substantial lifestyle changes over the next half-decade. To secure a future unlike anyone else's, you'll have to live differently now. This means significantly elevating your current level of investment. Drastic cost-cutting is the order of the day. We're not talking about just giving up your regular Starbucks fix. We're talking about reducing your entire rent payment. It might mean moving back home or finding roommates. You might need to part ways with your car and rely on walking or biking. To pull this off, it's essential to increase your income as well, as cut significant costs. Taking on a second job or launching a side business can significantly boost your earnings. With this extra money in hand, practice self-control by putting it into a top-tier exchange-traded fund, ETF, like VTI or VU. If you consistently invest $5,000 per month into an ETF tracking the S&P 500, which has historically averaged a 10% rate of return, you'd have about $375,000 after 5 years. In a decade, you'd have nearly $1 million, all without adding anything more to it. Remember, achieving financial goals involves a mix of strategy, dedication, and of course, a bit of humor along the way. The path to financial success is a journey that blends a dash of humor with unwavering commitment. Whether you choose to dive into riskier investments, build a portfolio through real estate, or opt for the more disciplined route of cost-cutting and diligent savings, the key lies in taking that first step. It's a path that demands a balance of calculated risks and steadfast financial discipline. Remember, the journey may be challenging, but with dedication and smart choices, you can inch closer to your financial aspirations. For more insights and guidance on mastering your wealth, don't forget to check out our channel, where we'll continue to share valuable tips and strategies to help you achieve your financial dreams sooner than you think. So, embrace the adventure with humor, determination, and a clear plan. And who knows, you might just achieve your financial goals sooner than you ever imagined.